Denver Broncos, they traded away Drew Lock, Shelby Harris, their defensive tackle, and Noah Fant, along with 2 first-round draft picks, 2 second-round draft picks. I believe it was a 3rd and a 6th, if I remember correctly. Could be a little off on those last two.
Hold on. I could look it up. I could get it exact. It was, I think it was 2 first, 2 seconds. It was 2
first, 2 second, definitely.
A 5th, Noah Fant, Drew Lock, and Shelby Harris. I'll confirm that though. I think I got it pulled up right here. ESPN. No. Yeah, this is ESPN. Mm-hmm. Get 3 players, picks, agree to sources. 2 first, 2 seconds, 5th. Yeah, plus those extra
and then those
players.
3 players. Okay.
It was to Wilson. It was for Wilson, then a 4th round pick as well. 2022 4th round pick.
Absolutely. But very, very hefty price. That was my initial reaction to it. But at the same time, I said, you paid that price for that type of quarterback. He's a proven commodity. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a proven leader, and he is definitely a force multiplier. But more importantly, no different than what I just said about Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson is going to draw free agents. Russell Wilson is going to make that guy that could probably go out there and get $2 to $3 more million, maybe take $2 to $3 million less just to go play with him because he gives them a legitimate chance to win a Super Bowl. If you're Denver, I don't see how you're not excited about it. I mean, does it suck giving up Noah Fant? Absolutely. Shelby Harris? Absolutely. He's a daggone good player as well. But when you're talking about bringing in Russell Wilson, he's that type of guy. He's that type of guy that when you look at him with that defense that they already have out there, you say, man, this is legit right here. He is different than a Teddy Bridgewater. He's way different than a Drew Lock. And I do believe that, like I said, man, with free agency coming up, guys are going to want to go to Denver to play with him. And I don't blame them. I really don't, man.
Yeah, I think Denver killed it in this trade. I think they really won. Yeah, you bringing in Russell Wilson. You already have a pretty nice team around you. Yeah. You lose Fant and you lose Shelby Harris. Are you kidding me, bro? Like those dudes are
those young receivers. Think about those young receivers, dude. Think about the receivers they already have out there. That's my thing. I'm like, he has weapons.
Well, not only that, I mean, they could draft a dude in the 3rd or 4th round as a tight end this year, or they could even just stick with who they have. I wouldn't be surprised if they puts up the same exact numbers as Noah Fant, as long as they stay healthy, because think of how many no-name tight ends Russell Wilson has made relevant out in Seattle. Absolutely. And Shelby Harris, leader for the defense, this and that, but at the same time, I mean, he's replaceable. I mean, I don't think you're going to be complaining too much about Shelby Harris if Von Miller comes back to your team.
Right.
I know they play different positions, but you could probably even pick up another dude just like him. Like you said, veterans are going to be signing in Denver for X amount less just because Russell Wilson's
Bradley Chubb out there. Bradley Chubb is still a really good player in his own self.
Yeah, because the way I view it, the 2 first-round picks, that was just automatically going to be part of the deal.
Yeah.
You're giving up Drew Lock for sure no matter what, because he's not going to be playing for you. Noah Fant, as I just mentioned, you could replace him. Shelby Harris, you could replace him. And then the 2 second-round picks, bro, they got one of those in the Von Miller trade, and they also got a 3rd-round pick in that Von Miller trade too, which is not that much of a difference between the 2nd and 3rd round. So you're not stressing about those 2 second-round picks either.
Yeah,
I think it was a great deal for Denver.
Yeah, and now you have the biggest piece of the puzzle. You have that solved. The franchise quarterback. That's the biggest reason why even in Pittsburgh we could say, it didn't matter who we were drafting necessarily, because when you have the franchise quarterback, you're always going to be all right. You're always going to have a legitimate chance. And that's what Denver just did now. They changed the game. Now, we know they play in a conference or even in a division where, it's a gauntlet. But let's not act like the AFC North isn't flirting with that as well. You got a regular season MVP in Lamar Jackson. You got a day going Joe Burrow, who just took his team to a Super Bowl. It's like, man, you already can see we're one more quarterback away from having our division looking like, whoa, all right, y'all pretty stacked right now. So I don't think that Russ would fear going to the AFC West. Why should he? He didn't fear anybody. He's Russell Wilson. And that's for me, man, why I look at this and I just say, man, Denver, like, I applaud him. Low-key jealous. Like, man.
Yeah, it was a great move.
Yeah.
That was a great move.
Now, to bring it back to Pittsburgh, if that was what we were having to give up, and our 3 players happened to be Mason Rudolph, regular Stephon Tuitt, not Tuitt that was sitting out for a year, but regular Stephon Tuitt, and say Pat Freiermuth. Would you have been willing to do that same deal with those 3 players to bring Russ to Pittsburgh?
2 firsts and then 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, part of me says you just do it. Other part of me thinks, though, we are in a little bit of a different situation than Denver because Denver's team's more set around them.
Mm-hmm.
Man, but yeah, part of me thinks you just make the deal. I do think Fryman is going to be better than Fanta. That's the other thing.
Yeah, but
I think he's going to be way more of a stud.
We're still thinking, but as of today, Noah Fant is the better player. Noah Fant is the proven player today.
Not by much.
Yeah,
I don't think it's by that much.
Much?
I don't think. No.
Come on.
I mean, Fryman had like what 8
touchdowns
last year, and we didn't feature him as much.
Don't you do that now. We can say that we think he has the ability to be better, but we're not going to say that Noah Fant isn't here compared to Pat Freiermuth right now. This is March 9th. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's by much.
I like the optimism around Pat. I do think it is, though, right now. I think that Pat is going to have to continue to develop. I already seen Noah Fant do what he can do in the NFL consistently and be featured at times. That's all I'm saying. Pat can get to that, but we're not going to say that today Pat is so close to where Noah is right now. I just don't agree with that, man.
That's the one I actually would be most frustrated giving up is Freiermuth.
Oh, no, I would as well, though. Absolutely. Because
out of those players,
a crazy young talent. But is Pat Freiermuth going to be a difference maker in the way that a Russell Wilson is?
Yeah, that's what part of me is just like, I think you make the move. Yeah. The interesting part is what's his next contract? Because I think he's going to be re-signing after this season. Actually, he might they might even try to make a deal before this season starts with them. Because that's going to take up the cap hit. Yeah, part of me thinks you just do it because I think he's going to be taking care of his body. He's saying that he wants to play till he's 45.
Yeah.
So, all of a sudden you're back relevant again for – I think we're going to be relevant this year. But, you're like legitimate super contenders with Russell Wilson at quarterback.
Yeah. Well, and I know we say we're going to continue to be relevant. I just asked myself, though, man, does Mason give you enough to keep up with another arm in the AFC?
All we need with him is 1 year, in my opinion, to find that out. Because if he can go out here and throw for 25 to 30 touchdowns, 10 or less picks, man, he's a huge bargain this deal. If the Steelers believe he can do that, that's why I don't really like the idea of getting any of these other quarterbacks outside of a Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers because at $5 million bucks, that is a huge value.
True, but do you believe
I'm going to leave the door open. I'm going to use a Tomlin and leave the light on.
Do you believe he can do it?
I'm talking myself into it, dude. I really am.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I like your optimism. I do. For me, I don't believe that it's a high probability. I hope he develops into that. I just don't believe it's as high of a probability. But hey, he could easily go out there and do that. Or even Dwayne Haskins, because he is the guy that we continue to forget about whenever we talk QB conversations, right? And not just us. I mean, this is a lot of fans right now. It's like, it's Mason. But we still have Haskins here as well. So that is – but yeah, I'm not as confident that either one is coming out and giving me 20-10 or 30-10. Either one of them. They're definitely not 30. 20-10, sure. Not 30.
2010. That's got to be.
2010.
That needs to
has
happen.
to be. That has to. 2010. That has to be like base level starting QB.
Oh, dude! If that happens, we got to move on. We got to move on. That's what I mean.
I'm going to say, gosh.
Whenever I bring up staying relevant, if he does go 2010, we're not going to be thrilled about that. But I still think we're 9-8 or whatever. We're in the mix.
Yeah.
But dude, if he throws for 25-10 or 30-10,
right, that's
$5 million bucks.
That's
why that's such a better deal than Aaron Rodgers. As much as we talk about bringing in Rodgers or bringing in a Russ, if their cap hits are going to be that much, and Mason proves a lot of us wrong, then I mean that's a huge deal. We only need 1 year for that, though.
My thing is, where did this optimism of Mason being able to throw 25 and 30 tutties and only have 10 picks come from? That's all. Like that.
I think it's the Steelers. I'm starting to talk myself in. If the Steelers are willing to do this, man, if they believe in them that much, Why not? I think he can keep it clean. He did for the most part.
Yeah, true.
In that 2019 season, outside of that Browns game where he threw 4 picks.
But
he
kept it
keep
clean.
It clean.
But he kept it clean because he was super conservative.
He hasn't been like that the last couple of times we've seen him.
True,
so maybe I'm just going off that. Maybe I'm going off that.
But that's all I'm saying. I'm like, man, you're mixing the conservative Mason where he didn't turn the ball over, but he wasn't pressing the ball downfield or pushing the ball downfield to now we're like, oh yeah, man, he can push downfield and he's not going to have turnovers. We know the more you get aggressive with that ball, the more you take chances, turnovers happen. It's that simple. I just don't believe that right now he's developed to that level of being able to throw for 30 of those things or 25 of those touchdowns and still keep that interception level, that number at 10. I just do not see that right now, man.
Could this be a bet? Could we do an over-under bet as the season gets closer for Mason touchdowns?
Well, yeah,
if he's the starter.
If Mason's
we got to
see if
he's the starter.
If he's the starter, that's different.
Yeah. 27, 28. Oh.
Yeah. If he's not the starter, though, what are we talking about? That's my thing. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's a fair competition. That's what I want to see, too. Because we didn't feel like we saw that last preseason. Yeah. Where were we at with all this? We were talking about Mason there. Where'd we go? Was this even a top? We were talking about Russell Wilson.
Yeah, because essentially all we're saying is this, man, in the sense of what they had to give up to acquire Russell. We have done that. And then you kind of said that, man, you think that we can get better value of Mason as long as he can go for 25 or 30 touchdowns with 10 picks. I said, man.
Oh, if he does that, it is better value.
But let's be real. Dudes ain't just showing up throwing for 25, 30 touchdowns, only 10 picks. Where have we seen Mason look anything close to that? That's all I'm saying.
If Wentz could do it last year.
No. Wentz is a far better talent than Mason. Wentz is a more proven player than Mason. Wentz was in an MVP conversation, led his team to a legit playoff berth. Let's be real. We can't say Mason has done that. We cannot say that at all.
This is part of the game, dude. You got to make projections on this shit. You have to. It's part of the game.
No. Part of the game, sure. But at the same time, you have to be realistic. And to try to say that Mason Rudolph is here with Carson Wentz, just hear that. Just hear what you just said. Mason.
Well, Wentz's stock was terribly low before going to the Colts. I mean, he had one of the worst quarterback seasons for a starter in a while.
All I'm saying is
27-7. That was a huge thing for him.
Mason Rudolph hasn't done anything to be in the Carson Wentz conversation just yet. That's all. That's just how I feel about it, man.
Back to the Russell Wilson thing, though. Part of me thinks you just do it, though. But if why I brought up Mason is just like if he performs,
if he does that now,
he's a huge value. Yeah. He's a huge value for us this year at $5 million.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, if he
does sucks. I don't know why I'm like he's the one guy I don't want to be giving up in that trade though. He's like my hang up. Can we throw in someone else? Can we sign Ebron and trade him?
Oh my god.
Devin Bush?
Oh wow.
Devin Bush, we might be able to throw him in. Actually, that would make sense. The Seahawks, they'd be trying to build up their defense. It could be Devin Bush, Stephon Tuitt, Mason Rudolph, and those picks.
Or
I would do that in a heartbeat. I don't know why I'm getting hung up on Prime. I think he's gonna be a stud.
Listen, maybe they want to build up their team through the draft with their players. Maybe they don't want to go and say, "Can I get your used goods?" and see if we can bring it back to life. Maybe they can say, I just go draft my own guy. I'm cool on Devin. That's all.
You making it? I think you do it. I think you. I don't feel good about it.
I absolutely would, man.